right. What is going on, everybody? It's that time. It's that time again. Wednesday at noon, California time. It's what time is it where you are, Greg? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn. Well, Wednesday in the middle of the day. It's the Metal Blade live series.
I,
This is the last one of the year. This is the holiday special, last one of the year. We're gonna take a couple weeks off for Christmas and New Year's. Come back in January, all fucking strong and refreshed. But today, I have a complete stranger. This guy I've never met before. Uh,
I actually feel like I'm the exclamation point on the
yeah,
live series for this year, which is kind of cool because I
you
feel
are.
like trash
Yeah.
the rest of the year.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going good.
That's
When I got hit up to do this, I was just like, wait, so since I'm hanging out with Riley, but he's also the host.
yeah.
And I'm like, which Riley am I going to get? Am I going to get my buddy Riley or like, hi, Mr. McShane, what's really good to hang out with you today?
I feel like we almost should have done like a really formal interview where we just like pretended to not know anything about each other,
Yeah.
but like still drop things like like, oh, so you're working on our new album. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm just waiting for my singer. That dude's a dick.
Yeah. Fucking lazy asshole. Well, anyway, fucking, so, I know, but for the sake of the people who are not in daily communication with you,
You think you know?
yeah, I think I know. I think I know. But what's the year been like for you? I mean, that's kind of the question going into all these interviews. Is it's just like 2020, right? So, how's that been? I mean, obviously, we had to cancel a headlining tour.
Yeah.
That wasn't super cool. That would have been a very fun tour. And then after that, everybody kind of like did their own thing for
Yeah.
a while. What was your thing that you did?
Uh, it's been a mix of like the most horrible stuff and the best stuff.
Yeah.
The best stuff. Well, I got married, moved to Canada, sort of. I'm technically not allowed to live here yet,
Right.
but
Right.
we fixed that, and I can live in the Great White North and eat poutine all day.
Yeah.
And then got a kitten, the terrorist, who's
So what
up beyond
what
belief.
what is your cat's actual name?
Facts.
Fax. Okay.
Fax, like fax machine. He's
Yeah.
he's like, it's Latin for flame.
Okay.
The wife's idea, Latin for flame, and he's a lovable cat, but
Also,
he's at the age now where if you do not play with him, he will search out something to destroy your world. My wife was like, oh, I want to put up the Christmas tree, and I was like, oh my god,
yeah.
that sounds like a horrible idea. And
I-
the Christmas tree is so fucked. It's so ruined. Like half the branches have caved in because they cannot support the body weight of a cat. I'm like, it looks great from the top up, and then the rest of it looks like it got mangled.
so my cats, I feel like all cats are also terrorists, but I also have an orange cat, and I feel like orange cats are particularly terroristic, like compared
so
to other cats.
lovable, right? But oh man,
Yeah.
definitely.
When my orange one was like a kitten, he would just slap shit like like he'd be standing there and you'd like walk past him on the stairs and he'd just like bat and you'd be like, okay, sure, like he's trying to play, he's trying to do his thing. But then it's like sometimes he would just sit there and like be looking at like the wall or like just some like a chair leg, just some inanimate object, and just fucking just a couple times and then just like walk away. And I'm just like, what? You're such a terrorist. Like, what is wrong with you?
Dude, yes. But yeah, dude, weird. Like, such a weird species.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came in this morning, and there's this like a box spring laying against the wall until it can be picked up after when the world opens back up.
Yeah.
And like, it must have been climbed in the middle of the night. So it was like over here. All my guitars were knocked over.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm just like, sick.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Real good pal. You
Yeah.
know, we give you a place to live and just terrorize us.
I remember like when you first started posting about that cat, I was like, he's eating avocados and like loaves of bread and shit, and I'm just like, what a monster. Like what?
As soon as the groceries arrive, we have to lock them away. It's like, man, just like anything. It's weird. We did research. Like avocado is super poisonous for them. So awesome. He has a death wish.
Yeah.
He's like a dog. Will eat anything. Anything.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, he has so many dog characteristics. Like he wants to play with you. So like his favorite game now is he wants to like jump in the middle of the air. So like he'll bring you his toy, then run away and wait for you to throw it. And I'm like, it's fucking weird, dude.
That is literally fetch. That is a dog game.
Like pretty much. He doesn't bring it back to you after that. He expects you to go get it.
Yeah.
He can't be too dog-like.
Yeah, of course. So so you moved, you got a cat, you got married. Personal life seems to be going, in an upward trajectory, which is good. I feel like, it's a real mixed bag with people, but I feel like a lot of and I've said this many times on this stream before, but it's like this year has kind of like proved who's gonna sink or swim. You know what I mean? Like it's forced everybody's hand in a way, and like some people, it's like they try to swim their hardest and it just doesn't work out, and that's really unfortunate, and it's just a shitty byproduct of everything that's gone on in the world, and then it's just everything. But a lot of the musicians that I've talked to, or industry people in general, it's like they've all kind of, we've all lived this life where it's like we've constantly been like struggling to keep our head above the water. That like this is not anything super new. So I feel like most of the musicians I've talked to, yeah, right, like
except I don't know. There's more stability. You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's something to be said about it. Well, Travis from Cattle, when I had him on here, he was like, "Yeah, it's like the Great Reset." Like,
yeah,
like, and I feel that's
almost, dude. That sounds like such a Cattle, like
yeah,
the
right.
next album, the Great Reset.
The Great Reset. Fucking, but. But yeah, no, but I feel like it's kind of been that way. So it's good that, your life is going in an upward trajectory. And I feel like a lot of musicians are kind of in that same boat. So it's good to see everybody kind of keeping their chin up. But as far as music goes and writing and all that kind of stuff, I feel like that's all everybody's really had time to do. We are still writing, but in lieu of while we're getting everything together on that, we released stuff from Apoptosis, which I don't think a lot of people know the story behind. Well, there's the documentary that shows the story behind the track, and I think that I'll have you rehash that in just a second. But I feel like no one really knows the story of where those songs came from, why they weren't on the record, and all this kind of stuff. So I feel like explaining that a little bit. So it's like
the explanation this far after the fact is going to be way better than during the fact.
Yeah.
Like way more like, oh yeah, well the record was way too long.
Yeah. So we so we were touring for most of that writing cycle. Like we were just like grinding our balls off. Like I remember being on Summer Slaughter, I think, in 2018, listening to fucking yeah, like listening to fucking mixes through our phone and through like these shitty headphones, trying to give like halfway decent feedback to Dave, being like, yeah, fuck, I guess it sounds good. Like it was a nightmare.
And like the worst, like fighting over nothing.
Yeah.
I just don't like you today.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
We were all so.
But let's mix a record. Like
so at the end of our fucking ropes. And so I think that it still came out, to be a good record. But like you said, it was too long. We had a few things on there that needed, like our original track listing for the album was like a little bit jumbled, and it had those extra songs and stuff. And because we were at the end of our ropes and constantly fucking touring, by the time that we decided, hey, you know, let's pull these two songs and let's like rearrange the track order and all this kind of stuff, the vinyl masters had like already been shipped, and like it was too late. So if you have the vinyl, the LP of Apoptosis, that's the original track listing, or track order, I guess, with the additional tracks included. But those tracks have never been anywhere digitally, or, you know, anywhere on the internet, or uploaded anywhere, or on the physical copy of the CD until now. They now have actual digital distribution, and it's concerto in D minor. What's the number? BMV.
Oh yeah,
1052. Yeah,
1052A.
1052A. Okay,
I don't know why the A is in there. I'm sure Wikipedia could tell us.
Yeah.
But I guess that actually, I think I remember that. Like the one part was missing. Like maybe the keyboard part was missing in the box, and someone found it years later.
Oh,
so they
word.
put that in, and then they're like, okay, well, 1052 was the orchestra alone, so they put the A in, which it was supposed to be. It's a concerto, so it's like keyboard.
Well, wasn't it originally written for like harpsichord? Was like the main instrument?
It's keyboard. They were like right between. It was like, if memory serves me right, and I could be wrong here, but so like, yeah, you probably wrote it on harpsichord, but they had just invented. It wasn't like the piano as we know it today. It was kind of like a mid. I forget the name of it, but it was like the evolution of the keyboard was coming along. So it was like a piano in its infancy. It wasn't like the 88 key long ass thing yet.
Right.
Like, you know, but I think it wasn't the, you didn't have the two levels. I can't think right now what it's actually called.
The organ?
These things, not right now, apparently.
The organ? The pipe organ with two levels?
Yeah, well, the harpsichord has the two levels too.
Right.
And then then the evolution came where they came up with the harpsichord's plucked like a guitar. Right. So there's no really sustain on a harpsichord once you let go of the key. Whereas then the keyboard came with the pedals, which became the hammers.
Right.
But it wasn't. Yeah. The evolution of the instrument. Guitar existed at this point, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was the lute. But we play lute music anyway.
It's fine.
I can nerd out about this. We should change the subject.
Well, okay. So sort of changing the subject, but I want to know, you know, and I'm sure the viewers, well, I already know, but the viewers, I'm sure, would love to know a little bit of background on like why we covered this song, why you did that stuff. Like I said, we have like a little mini documentary that's already on YouTube that you can check out. That kind of goes into some of these details, but you know, just while we're live, if you can explain a little bit about kind of why this piece and like, you know, all that jazz.
Yeah. So after I graduated high school in like '98, that dates me as old, but my first college experience was at Radford University. It's like in Southern Virginia. And before I transferred and went to Cincinnati Conservatory, where I finished this out. So like at Radford, there was a student that introduced me to this pianist named Murray Pariah. And the first thing they showed me was this. He did 2 records of all the Bach keyboard concertos. So like the first one, this was the very first track on it. And I was like, it's shreddy as hell, and I loved it, right? And I was like, I would love to do this in a metal band, just, you know. And then, like, you know, through home recording, I'd like done little segments of it and some other stuff, but you know, no one cares about pre-Allegaeon Greg and stuff anyway. So if we're honest, right? And then it was writer's block for Apoptosis. Like I think I was 1 track short, and then I had way too many tracks when it came down to it after the fact. And then it was like, oh yeah, that's like 3 tracks that in one, Greg, what the fuck? Yeah, okay, anyway. Yeah. So yeah, so that's where I was like, fuck it, I need something. I've always wanted to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, and that was 20 years. 20
Yeah.
years for me until I got to do it. So it was like a huge like life achievement for me. So
Well, my
if you
parts,
hate it, I don't care.
my parts were particularly difficult. So
Dude, yeah. I
it
think you're
was
like,
tough,
what the
man.
fuck? You doing a cover?
I
Sort of. Is it? It's an arrangement. It's not even a cover at this point. But we'll call it. You're doing a cover and it has nothing to do. Fuck you.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, none of our other covers are vocally driven or anything, you dick. No,
No,
it
but,
was.
you know, it's good. I'm glad things happened the way they did because it actually made us look busy this year.
Yes.
Because we roundabout and
Yep.
then those
Yep.
two. So it's like we did a lot of releases this year, sprinkled throughout the year.
Well, we've still got one more, but I'll keep that quiet for another few
That
minutes.
little nugget.
Yeah, got a little nugget here. So so we did Concerto, but as well as Concerto, there was also in Flanders Fields. And I remember, okay, so I'll never forget because I was just like, oh my god, this album cycle is killing us. Because I didn't know, because like we have working titles, right, for like pretty much everything we write. It's always like, you know Michael's are always just like plays on famous band names, but yours usually like have some kind of serious tone to them. But then they end up getting changed as far as like, the lyrics go and all that kind of stuff. And so I remember, based off of the original placement of the acoustic, classical piece in Flanders Fields, I was like, oh, hey, like, I'm going to change the name to this thing. And you were like, you cannot change the name to this fucking song.
We were in such a bad mood. This is behind the scenes at Allegaeon, dude. We fucking hate each other. Not really. It's just what happens in the world. Just fucking do it right now. How dare you? Like,
and I was just like, Jesus Christ, fine. Like, I won't fucking change the name. Oh my God. And so, but it turns out that there's like actually a really valid reason for that, which was explained later. So, Flanders Fields, tell us a little bit about that.
It's based off this poem by John McCrae, and it's about World War One. And I heard it, not to go into detail, but like I heard it and I was like, that is awesome. Like I really love the poem. I thought it was pretty brutal, in a metal but it's poetry type way. Yeah. So that totally, like, I had parts of it kind of written, but that kind of like was like I know what I'm doing now with it. So that's and that's what it was. It was like that's because that's where the idea it all came together at that point. So,
right. Yeah. Well,
that's not a very long explanation.
No, it's fine. Fun little nugget. That a little bit of band communication going on here. In the live chat. I think that the video that you filmed for that like a year ago.
Yeah.
I think that the plan was to release that today, but we have that other thing.
Okay. Yeah. Vince mentioned something. I was like. Any of that. I was like, hey, what's going on with this?
And
Riley. I'm like, oh.
So now I think the plan is to release the video for that early in January. So
sick.
Like first week.
I filmed it in the summer.
Yeah.
So everybody watch it and you'll feel warm.
Yes, because, exactly. All the sunshine and the fields, and it's wonderful.
I love it. I'll give one of the funniest things to me about this. I'm sitting there in a field. Poppies don't exist in the U.S. right? Much because people make some drug out of them, right?
Yeah,
I want something like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't exist here. So there's a field of flowers over there. And it is all like, if someone lit a match, I would have died like instantly. It was that dry. And I'm wearing a long sleeve Surreption shirt playing beautiful classical music. Stupid. That's a boring I am. Dude, he totally zoned out. He's like,
I was watching I'm watching anime. No, I'm looking at some some popular possible questions we might have, but we'll see. We'll see if we have time. So yeah, video coming out first week of January. I think January 7th is the date for now.
Lovely.
Yes, but we have other things planned for today that I'm just gonna keep teasing. I'm just gonna keep poking around it until it's time to just
carrot
fucking
on a stick.
Yeah,
Carrot.
yeah, carrot on a stick, exactly. So we are writing a new record. I feel like that's something we should probably talk about.
Yeah.
We are writing a new record. This
Good.
album's I think it's really good. I have a lot of I'm much more emotionally invested in this record than I was with the last one. And
Dude, no one.
uh,
That's an understatement. If anybody were, dude, we were burned as fuck. For
Yeah.
Apoptosis.
after just explaining what the album cycle was like and the mixing, the writing cycle for Apoptosis and the mixing process for it and all that kind of stuff, like I feel like just on a given we're gonna be more involved in this one just because like we learn from the past.
Don't do that one again.
But that being said, I feel like the way that I've explained it to people, in private conversations versus like being on the internet is that like everyone in the band outside of just dealing with COVID has gone through some pretty rough personal stuff this year. We don't have to get into the details on that and the minutia and all that shit, but everyone in the band has experienced, like loss or hardship in some way over 2020, and it's been rough. Like it's been no small it's been they've been pretty life-changing things. So I feel like that really reflects in the new album, and not only that, but like in our investment in it, because it's like I feel like with Apoptosis, like it's like we write music and all that kind of stuff, and we're professionals and we do our thing, and it's not going to be like a low quality thing that we just kind of like out of just to release an album. But at least for me, like this album and this writing process is so much more of like a creative channel for me, you know what I mean, to like process some of the stuff that has happened this year. And I feel like with Apoptosis it was more just like I write music, I love writing music, I'm gonna write this music. But with this one it's much more of like I need to write this album or I'll lose my mind. Like
I mean, I think that there was the communication was we've never done an album quite like this where everybody's involved.
Yeah.
It's usually like everybody goes into their own little corner, does their tracks, and go, here you go.
Yeah.
Do your part, Where this time it was, hey, let's all get in a room and go over every track and like comb through it and what you have to say about this.
Yeah.
I hate this part. Okay, well, I guess it's fired.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I think that some of the parts that we came up with though during our little writing session for that like week that we were all together are like some of my favorite Allegaeon parts ever. You know what I mean? Like thus far, I'm just like, putting all our heads together in that creative direction, I feel is yielding really good results, and I'm personally looking really forward to the next one that we have of those before we actually hit the studio. So kind of a tie-in question from a fan, from Ryan Cadwell. He wants to know if the new album is going to be a concept record. No. not really. It's lyrically going to be a little bit
loose, I guess.
It's like sort of a loose concept, sort of like it has.
I think musically, it has some themes within.
Yeah, musically for sure has all that kind of stuff. But as far as lyrically goes, and this kind of ties into another question that we have from Steve Mangini. Do you like to write when your emotions are fresh or once you've had time to process? Definitely once I've had time to process a little bit. A little bit of both. It's like sometimes when something strikes, I'll just like write some music or write some lyrics or do something and then kind of like import that into the creative process with Allegaeon. But it's mostly once it's had time to settle and, I can feel around on how to properly insert it into the music. But as far as like the concept and the lyrical themes goes, it's going to be a little bit of a departure from some past Allegion material. You know, we're like the science band, right? There's going to be a little bit less of that going on. You know, so much has happened in the past couple years that, like, you know, we feels like
to talk about.
yeah, there's a lot to talk about. It feels like it would almost be kind of tone deaf to be like, so we know everything is pretty crazy, but like fucking beakers and stars and shit, that's cool, right? Like fucking, you know. And like I said, you know, based off of all of our personal experiences for this year, it's like I feel like we kind of need to put a little bit more into this album. Yeah, for
more
sure.
of a catharsis.
Yes,
sure.
more of a catharsis for sure. So another question here. Fucking Adam Downs. I hate you, Downs. He wants to know, when am I getting my invite to Flatline when you record next? I'm still waiting for it. You're never getting invited to the studio, Downs. It's never going to happen. But if you did, it might be like first quarter of next year, I think, is, you know, when things might be happening.
But it's not happening.
But it's not happening. But, you know, but if it did, but it's not. But if it did.
Dude, we're only charming to be around in very short.
Yeah, very short bursts.
Anyway, about as long as a Metal Blade live cast. Yeah. After that, fuck.
can't do much more of it. But yeah, so I'm excited for this new record. I think that it's going to be our best one yet, and it's going to be. I think it's going to hit a lot harder than our past few records have. Even though, you know, Elements, which I wasn't on, but Proponent and Apoptosis, I think, are all fucking great records, and they've like really kind of set the stage for something grandiose in the Allegion career path. So I'm excited for this record. I think it's gonna make some waves. Yes. Well, we've been on here for about half an hour.
No, sick.
And I've been dangling this carrot for a while, but over this last week we decided, you know, as you can tell, I'm feeling very festive. It's the holiday season, you know, it's the Metal Blade holiday special, and I feel like it wouldn't be a proper holiday special if there wasn't some gift.
Whether you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not. And so our gift to you, we got together and we were like, you guys, we should do a Christmas song. And I know your first thought is probably like, why would you do this? Why? What kind of monsters are you? And that's fair. That's a fair assumption to make. But we spent the last week or so, you know, kind of deciding what we wanted to do, what song would be good, fit the mold of the Allegion, you know, dumbassery that we like to engage in. And we also managed to convince a couple of our friends to take part. So we decided, you know, we're not really super big on traditional Christmas music. But we do all love George Michael. So we decided on Last Christmas by Wham. And like I said, we had a couple of friends join us for this little, you know, festivity. Those friends being Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation and Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder, who was on here last week. So without further ado, let's show a little video. This is our creative take on Last Christmas by the hit band Wham! Here you go. Oh God. Sorry, you guys, I'm an incompetent and I didn't have the audio on. All right, let's try this one more time. Blast Christmas, take 2. Here we go. Well, there it is. Blast Christmas. We hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it, because
some of us thought we were gonna die.
Greg was setting things on fire in the frozen north, so it's
with gasoline.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna die.
Yeah. Michael got completely covered in eggnog in a bathtub, but that part didn't make it into the final video, so he basically drenched himself in eggnog for no reason.
Which is a gift to me.
Yeah, which is a gift to Greg. That's Greg's Christmas present. And we also kind of sort of did a little bit of a member reveal in this thing, sort of. many of you have maybe noticed that our past few videos have not included our longtime drummer Brandon Park, and it's been a struggle, finding someone to replace him and work with us and stuff. And we had our friend and old drummer JP Andrade do the form shifter set that we did, and some of the other live stuff we did just didn't have drums on it. But we have found a man who is wonderful and
very Jewish.
He's wonderful and very Jewish, as you could see from the video. Jewish Santa Claus. Our friend Jeff Saltzman, who plays for a band called Averst, and now plays for Allegaeon. So congratulations, Jeff. You're in the band. That's the best member reveal I think we've ever done. So there you go. Well, if you guys enjoyed that video, we're going to be posting it up to the Allegaeon YouTube channel soon. I'm sure you're going to get blasted with it all over social media, within the next hour or so. So if you didn't see it on the live series, I'm sorry. I'm sorry ahead of time. But anyway, I think that's about it. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays of all kinds to all people of all faiths this season. 2020's finally almost over, but there's
if there's an excuse to party.
Yeah, I think there's still a long road ahead of us, but at least
I love that fact, dude. It's like, dude, 2020's almost over. Oh shit, nothing's ending.
Yeah, nothing's no end in sight. But at least we don't have to say it's 2020 anymore. At least the year it all began is soon going to be a fucking memory.
Yeah.
We have a tour on the books.
Next year we'll be
yes this time next year we're gonna be overseas in Europe with our friends in Archspire and Rivers of Nile and Black Crown Initiate, doing a fucking super sick Euro run on the Faces of Death tour. Tickets are actually available for that tour now on facesofdeathtour.com. If you just go to facesofdeath.com, you're not gonna get the right thing.
Is that gonna be like the old 80s movies?
I think it would. I can't imagine it would be anything else. Like, I can't.
That was the first thing I saw, because I was just like, dude, I used to rent those.
Yeah.
And every time the Faces of Death would kill my VCR, like I had to buy, and I kept doing it because I'm an idiot. But I keep renting the tape, and they're like, why are you doing this to yourself? I'm like, I don't know. I'm a teenager. I don't have any morals. Let me just see people get beheaded and shit.
This is just brutal, bro. I'm at that beautiful age where I'm just numb to everything.
Dude, and now I cry at puppies.
Yeah. Now I can't get to the end of any video game or television show without being like, yeah. So how the times have changed. But yeah, facesofdeathtour.com. Get tickets if you are in pretty much anywhere in Europe. We're going all over the place with this one, so check it out. We've got it's all over our social media. Our past few posts have been all about the tour, so definitely check it out. And we hope to see lots of you out there in a year. See you next year. see you next Christmas. But other than that, I don't think there's really anything. Thanks for hanging out, Greg. For
thanks for having me, Riley.
Yeah. Don't like that. Well, good way to cap off the year.
Yeah, let's never do this again.
Yeah, let's never do this again. All right, sick. All right, thanks everybody for watching. We are Allegaeon, collectively, sans a few people. This is the Metal Blade Live Series podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you